I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh, yeah.
JB knows that one of the hardest 100 milers on the East Coast is set to take place this weekend down in Georgia. Some people call it George, some people call it Georgie, but absolutely no one is mistaking the name of the race that is known as the Cruel Jewel 100. This race features 33,000 feet of elevation gain over the 106 brutal miles. This isn't your local 50K. You can't just show up and pick up your packet and just say your name. You actually need to bring a government issued ID to pick up your packet to this race. That's how serious the Cruel Jewel 100 is. What's gonna happen to this year's race? I've got a couple predictions. Let's break it all down. Before we dive into the top women, I just want to go out on a little rant, and say that I'm a little hot right now in these predictions. I got top 2 on both sides at Promised Land. I kind of did really well at the Dirty German Endurance Fest that was last weekend in Philadelphia. So I'm kind of climbing up. I did well at Super Bowl, OBU, we're not talking about it. We're not talking about Ohio's Backyard Ultra, but these predictions, I'm on a bit of a hot streak. Let's keep it going right now with the top 5 women at the Cruel Jewel 100 miler. 5th place on the women's side, I've got it going to Sharon Morillo. And youth is on her side, but she also has a ton of experience that I think is gonna really help her out in a race like this. She was the overall winner of the Lone Star 200K in 2020, finishing with a time of 60 hours. She finished 2nd place at the Brazos Bend 100K in 2019. She's also a multi-finisher of the Barkley Fall Classic. So yes, she likes to do tough things. Sharon Morillo, I've got you finishing 5th place. 4th place on the women's side is gonna be a familiar name to Ridge Runner Nation, and that's Sarah Moore. Sarah Moore is the back-to-back champion at the Ode to Laz Backyard Ultra up in Michigan. She also finished 3rd place at the Canal Corridor 100 last year. This past February, a couple months ago, what'd she do there? Oh, wait, 8th place Rocky Raccoon. Awesome result there. And just going back a couple months further, Desert Solstice, really tough race. Great competition there at the 100 miler. 3rd place. She's just done some incredible events. Like maybe you've heard of some of these other races that she's done that are pretty difficult, such as Grindstone. That's a pretty tough one, right? How about UTMB CCC? Yep, that's another pretty tough one. How about another tough Virginia race? Old Dominion. Sarah Moore has absolutely done it all, and I think she's gonna have a phenomenal day. 4th place, gotta go into Sarah Moore. 3rd place on the women's side, I've got it going to Alicia Huddleston. And before I dive into her results and her training, I just want to start off by saying she's really fast. How fast? Well, she finished 4th place at the JFK 50 miler last year. She also finished 4th place at the Bryce Canyon 100K last year. She's had some really epic results. The question that I have for Alicia though is, does she have the endurance to last 100 miles? The one thing that she does have going for her is she has experience on this course. A couple years back, she finished 2nd place at the Cruel Jewel 50. Will that translate? I think so. Alicia, I've got you finishing 3rd place. 2nd place on the women's side, I've got it going to one of Ridge Runner Nation's favorite runners. I don't say that lightly. Favorite runners, that's Jennifer Russo. Everyone will know Jennifer by now really well. She's an absolute monster. And we saw this recently at Ohio's Backyard Ultra, where she ran 225 miles for the assist this past March. She also was the assist at the race in November, running 154 miles. She did some incredible things in 2020. She won the Burning River 100 miler. She finished 5th place at the Chattanooga 100. She finished 3rd place at the No Business 100. In 2019, she ran the Cruel Jewel 100 and finished 9th. If I know Jennifer, she's coming into this race looking to totally crush her previous performance, because that's what she does at races and continues to do and prove every single person wrong that sleeps on her. Jennifer Russo, I've got to finishing 2nd place. And taking home the win on the women's side, I've got it going to Liz Canty. And let's throw it over to Liz for a training update.
Hey everybody. So I think Ridge runners wanted to know how my training for Cruel Jewel went. Apart from 2 loops at Barkley, which I would call a solid training effort, the week before, I am out with my friend Pete and helping him on his SCAR attempt. So we are out in the Smokies on a nice easy 15, and then I'll probably get some good car naps after that. And otherwise, just stoked for a long day in the green tunnel that is the North Georgia mountains, the DRT, and Vogel State Park. Super excited. See everybody there.
Thanks for the training update, Liz. You've had a phenomenal year so far, and you're only gonna continue to improve on it because that's just what you do. You're one of the best runners on the East Coast for a reason, and that's why I've got you finishing in this top spot. But I mean, we had you on RRLive earlier this year to talk about your Mountain Mist 50K win. A couple months later, you know, you went out to some race called the Barclays Marathon, and you officially recorded 1 loop plus some change. I mean, you have so many epic results, including like a 3rd place finish at the Bear 100, 2nd place at GDR, you know, you got a Pinotti win to your name, just so many incredible results, and you're just one of the toughest runners on the East Coast. I've got you taking home the win at this year's Cruel Jewel 100. Let's toss things over to the men's race. 5th place, I've got it going to Lyman Baker the third, and he's an incredibly tough runner out of New York. And just how tough is he? Well, in the month of April, he did 2 runs that totaled 10,000 feet of vert in each run. He's coming into this race with not a ton of miles, but he's done the specific training that's needed to excel at a race like this. You know, back in 2019, he finished 11th at this race, and I think he's only going to continue to improve upon that performance. You know, he's finished 4th place at the No Business 100 in 2020 as well. He also has a 6th place finish at the Cruel Jewel 50 in 2018. Tough races, he's got the resume as well. He's finished Grind Zone 100. I think Lyman is gonna have an incredible race out there. I've got you finishing 5th place. 4th place for the men's side, I've got it going to Masazumi Fujioka, and he's someone who's had a phenomenal year up to this point with his training, you know, super consistent all year. You know, in his big peak week, he ran 92 miles with 9,400 feet of vert. You know, he is absolutely ready for this event. You know, he's done a ton of tough races in the past couple of years. He's got 3 straight 3rd place finishes at the Hurt 100 from 2017 to 2019. You know how tough he is. 17th place at the Western States 100. That's all you gotta say. Masazumi's gonna be ready to go for this one. I've got you finishing 4th place. 3rd place on the men's side, I've got it going to Chris Tyson. This is Chris's first true Beast Coast race, and what a race to pick. I mean, my goodness, this is gonna be an awesome race for Chris to go out there and show what he can do with the best of the best, and he's ready. He's absolutely fired up for this one. You know, he won the Heartland 100 in 2020. You know, he was 10th place at the High Lonesome 100 back in 2019. He was 6th place at the Bear 100 a few years back. Chris, I've got you finishing 3rd place at this year's Cruel Jewel 100. 2nd place on the men's side, I've got it going to Dylan Gottschall, and this is someone who's still looking for their first 100-mile finish according to Ultra Signup, and this is going to be an epic race to go out there and do. He's from Colorado, you know, he's done tough things, you know, big mountains out there at Nick Voss. I mean, this is going to be phenomenal to see him come back to a course that he knows well. He was the overall winner of the 50-miler in 2019. You know, he finished back-to-back 2nd place finishes at the Run Rabbit Run 50-miler. His training has been super solid. You know, he's had a 100-mile week before the race, which is always good to see. He also had an 81-mile week with 15,000 feet of elevation gain. He's absolutely ready. I've got you finishing 2nd place. And taking home the win on the men's side this year, I've got it going to Benjamin Buckland, an incredible runner from Spokane, Washington, and he's gonna just have a phenomenal day out there. I mean, my goodness, is he gonna just crush this race. Why? He's so hungry. He's never won a 100-miler according to Ultra Signup, but he has so many finishes in the top 5. I think this is gonna be the day that he finally gets it done. You know, he was 5th place at Cascade Crest in 2019, 4th place at a race called Hard Rock 100. You know, that's a pretty tough one apparently, you know, that's what they say at least. So, you know, it's gonna be awesome to see, you know, his big training week. I was kind of curious, I'm like, how are people trained up for a race like this? Well, he had a 90-mile week with 21,000 feet of vert, and he also had a 112-mile week with 15,000 feet of vert in his training. I don't think anyone's more fit coming into this race than Benjamin, and I think it's gonna totally work itself out in, you know, one of the ways where, you know, maybe he's not the quickest, or maybe he's not the one who's got the most experience, but I think he's gonna just absolutely blow it out of the water. Benjamin Buckland, I've got you taking home the top spot for the men at the Cruel Jewel 100 this year. Thanks for watching another prediction video. You guys know the rules. If you have a prediction you want to make about this race, drop it down in the comments below. I love seeing your picks for races like this. You know, so many epic names, so many dark horses who could have just incredible days and just outshine everyone. Let me know who they are. As always, you know, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't already. And if there's a race you want to see a prediction video on, let us know, because we're not stopping. You know, we're hot. We're keeping this thing going. You know, as long as I'm still making good picks, we're gonna keep this thing going until we get cold. And then we get cold, we'll reevaluate our lives and we'll figure out what to do from there. That's all I got for this one. We'll see you on the next one.